Welcome in to the Fun Astrology Podcast. Thomas Miller, thanks for joining us. We've got a hump day today, and we've got a Mars opposite Uranus. And boy, I'll tell you what, last night, it didn't take long to see a headline that just perfectly illustrates Mars opposite Uranus, everything that we've been talking about. Now, remember, Mars is in Scorpio, at home. And opposite Uranus, there's just this pull, this desire to lash out. So I'm scanning Twitter last night, and here's a video of a lady walking into an office with 20-something other people behind her outside, but walking into the office of a member of parliament and serving her criminal charge papers. And evidently doing the same. This group is doing the same to every member of the Australian Parliament or the Victorian Parliament. I'm not sure the structure there. But wow, I looked at that and I thought, right there is Mars opposite Uranus. And that they were doing it right before it culminates. Oh, man, that was just astrological timing at its best. That aspect today, by the way, is at 12:23 p.m. And then I pick up the SpeakPipe message and I hear this.
Hey, Thomas. Uranus is going to be opposing my natal Uranus shortly, and the full moon's on my birthday. And I just feel like screaming like Charlie Brown. Thank you.
That's from Ryan, longtime listener. Happy birthday, buddy. And I guess that means good grief. Is that right, Charlie Brown? I was trying to think. What did Charlie Brown? He sighed good grief more than anything. But there you go. That's so we can almost tell your age. The cookbook would say to guess 42, but it technically is the early 40s. And he said that his birthday is on the full moon. And it's on the eclipse day. And I read somewhere, too, that it was like the longest partial eclipse in over 500 years. We'll talk more about the eclipse tomorrow and Thursday. I wanted to get to one other question, though. So, Ryan, thank you for that. That was perfect. Now, this was my bad. We've got a great listener, Kimberly in Ohio, who sent a bunch of messages in back in the summer. And I did a fateful thing in my world that is a big no-no. I put them in a folder. Even though it was a digital folder, I put them in a folder. And when that happens, all of my life, it's gone. Well, I found them, and so I want to get to her question. So since the moon is this week, Kimberly, if you're still around, I apologize. Here is a question about the moon and mom.
I was reading like the daily astrology, and it talked a lot about the moon and all the moon stuff. And it talked a bit about the moon and it being a good time to like do mother things. Okay, so when it comes to astrology and moon stuff and mother things, how have you used astrology to be, I guess, helpful to your mother? I don't even know how to ask this question properly, but yeah, so I'm trying to support my mom. She's single and she's dating, and I I want to say things that are positive. So how can I use astrology to help my family?
All right, this is a good question because the moon represents mom in the chart. In fact, there are two signifiers that we can use for mom, and especially the feminine, that being Venus and the moon. The moon rules the fourth house, the house of home, mom, the home, the moon, Cancer, family. That's the question she's asking. Now, what we're talking about here is looking at the entire chart and looking at the transits of the chart. So we want to know what's going on right now. So we would look at a couple of things. We would put the chart up and we would do an analysis of her moon sign, house, aspects. Then we would look at the transits. Where are things right now? Then we would look at the solar arc positions of the planets, especially the moon and a couple of other things. And then we would turn over and look at the secondary progressed chart, specifically where the moon is in that chart. And that would tell us where mom's heart is right now. So those are the components. And yes, I'm going to make it a blatant commercial because, Kimberly, all of that synthesis is built into the 101 course. I wanted to take you all the way through basically exactly what she just described. So you have the components of all of that to be that literate in the 101 course. So this comes back to the age-old dilemma. Are you going to give somebody a fish or teach them to fish? And because things change, especially when you're talking about the moon so much, then we want to know how to read this for ourselves. But that would set up a pretty good picture of where mom is related to her dating. And then this stuff that I've been studying with Robert Glasscock, you could very easily use that to ask the chart the question, the horary question. If you meet somebody that you're interested in, should I pursue this relationship with this person? And ask the chart. And that's going to be a 7th house relationship question. And the chart is amazingly accurate. In fact, I took a look at one of those on a relationship question similar to that. Well, similar to what I was setting up. Should I date this person was the question. And the chart spoke, and it took maybe about 3 or 4 days for the outcome to become crystal clear. You know, the more that we use and apply astrology, the more it just becomes absolutely amazing. All of that energy is locked into the time and space of a particular point in time, the birth of either us or a question or a company or anything creates this entire system of knowledge and wisdom from the universe, giving us guidance and direction for our lives. It is absolutely incredible. Thanks, Kimberly. We'll get to your other ones soon. I promise. Sorry. Okay, you guys have a great hump day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.